Good afternoon and welcome to Industry Insights. My name's Amanda Thompson. For those of you joining us for the first time this week, we have been putting a spotlight onto several different industries already. We've heard from hospitality, finance was yesterday, engineering was on Monday, and today is all about technology. My name is Amanda Thompson. I'm the co-founder of Industry Insights together with Your Game Plan, and together we've been working with young people and institutions for over 20 years, helping to offer insights and guidance in young people's next career steps. I would like to welcome today our sponsors MI5, MI6 and GCHQ, and GSK and Jaguar LandRover. Today we will be hearing first from GSK and Jaguar LandRover before we then go on to a live session with MI5, MI6 and GCHQ. So without further delay, I'm going to hand you over to Evelina, who's going to tell you a little bit more about herself and what she does at GSK.
All right. Hi everyone, my name is Evelina and I'm Data Analytics Apprentice at GSK Consumer Healthcare. For anyone who doesn't know, GSK, or GlaxoSmithKline, its full name, is a global healthcare company which is split in three divisions: pharma, vaccines, and consumer healthcare, which I am a part of. And so maybe to just mention some brands that a lot of you will be familiar with. GSK produces Sensodyne, Voltaren, Advil, and its goal is to help people all around the world improve their everyday health to make their lives better. So that's a little insight about GSK. And my function, or what am I doing in GSK as Data Analytics Apprentice, is to work with data, analyze it, and offer business insights that would aid business stakeholders and the company itself into better decision making. Can I please play the video that myself and my fellow apprentice colleague recorded about GSK and what our role is. Hi everyone, my name is Evelina and I am Data Analytics Apprentice at GSK.
Hi, my name is Shahan Silva. I'm a second-year Data Analyst Apprentice at GSK Consumer Healthcare.
I found the apprenticeship at GSK out of curiosity, really. I knew that I wanted to do an apprenticeship initially, but I still wasn't sure in which area or, what exactly I wanted to do. So when I found Data Analytics Apprenticeship, I knew immediately that I really want to apply, as that is something new and exciting for me.
So I found this apprenticeship straight out of university, and I was looking for a place that would offer me real-life work experiences and would help me build on what I learned at university.
Data analytics is about finding different patterns in the data, using code, which eventually will help business or people that we work with answer their questions using data.
So I would describe the role of a data analyst as someone who uses analytical techniques along with logical thinking to come up with interesting solutions to business problems.
I would say that data analytics is a very creative field where you are the one deciding and designing the way and the path how you want to solve the problem. And important to mention, Data Analytics Apprentice's time is split into two parts. So 80% of our time we spend working on real-life projects, and 20% of the time we spend on our apprenticeship and doing assignments.
So the best part about working at GSK for me is the amount of opportunities we have to learn and grow, the great work culture, and the amazingly talented people we get to work with every day.
At GSK, we have a great network of mentors, line managers, buddies, and other people who are there for you to help you. Whenever I have an issue, I know that I can openly talk about it with my line manager and receive the support I need. Also, being an apprentice at GSK is amazing, as we are given a lot of great opportunities for self-development. For example, last October we went to Lake District for a week full of different activities where we were challenged and eventually learned a lot about ourselves and about teamwork. If there's one thing I wish I had known before joining technology industry, is that it is not as scary as I thought before. IT and tech is for everyone.
So what I wish I knew about this program before I joined, I wish I knew how big of a role data science played in healthcare, how much it aids in the decision-making progress of this industry, and how applicable and transferable the skills you learn here are.
After finishing my level 4 data analytics apprenticeship, I have been given an amazing opportunity to progress to level 6 data science degree apprenticeship, which I will start in September this year.
So this apprenticeship has opened up a lot of opportunities and pathways for me in areas such as business analytics or product management, but I have decided to take the level 6 apprenticeship in data science. That's starting in September. So if you guys need any more information on the roles or apprenticeships available at GSK, please visit GSK Careers.
Good afternoon, my name is Nick Frost and I work at Jaguar LandRover, or JLR, the UK's largest automotive manufacturer and the company behind cars like the Range Rover and the Land Rover Defender. I work as a senior analytics consultant within digital. In other words, I'm part of a team that's looking to modernise and transform JLR through the use of cutting edge techniques and state-of-the-art technologies. The automotive sector is a really exciting place to be at the moment. We're going through a rapid and unprecedented transformation as we shift from petrol and diesel cars towards electric. The Jaguar brand will be only sell electric models from 2025, and Jaguar Land Rover as a company aims to be net carbon zero by 2039. So what does this mean about my job day to day? Well, I see myself as a problem solver with data. I've worked on projects across the company in a variety of different scenarios, answering questions like, which vehicles should we send to our US market? And how many paints do we need to offer on our future vehicles? The work day to day can be really varied. It can encompass things from developing and bringing together tens of millions of rows of data, analysing that and putting it together in a presentable form using interactive dashboards, and then engaging and sharing actionable insight with senior directors and even board members. And these are all skills that I've learned since I started at JLR. For me, one of the best parts of my role is the fact that we have an actionable impact. Our team has generated over £200 million of value for JLR in this financial year alone. Hopefully, some of the things I've mentioned to you have excited you about the opportunity at work at JLR, in which case, fantastic. We offer a number of different apprentice opportunities across the company. In my team, we have a level 6 degree apprentice in data analytics, but there are much more opportunities within technology, from software and cybersecurity to a wide variety of pathways within engineering. Our degree apprentice schemes last 4 years with a £20,000 starting salary. You'll study at the University of Warwick, a Russell Group university that's campus is within 30 minutes of our 2 main offices. It may also be that you've decided you already want to study full-time at university to begin with, and that's great also. We have a number of graduate careers opportunities as well at JLR. That's actually the way that I joined the company back in 2017. If you want to learn more, the best place to go is our dedicated careers website, jaguarlandrovercareers.com. Now, I think we're going to finish this section with a video that summarises the breadth of fantastic early careers opportunities available at JLR. Thank you.
The future of movement is inspiring.
It's accelerating.
And visionary.
The future of movement is sustainable.
In the detail.
In the imagination.
The future of movement is creative.
Respected.
And collective. The future of movement is now. The future of movement is you.
Thank you so much, guys. They were really great insights into your organisations. Before we get started, I just want to point out this is an interactive event. Please pop all of your questions in the chat box. If you've not already popped a name on the chat box so that you can access it, then please do that. You might need to scroll down ever so slightly to see where you do that. You also don't need to put your real name on there. You can put anything. You might want to put your school name. Please pop your questions in as we'll be heading straight into those now. Thank you to those who have already sent us your questions that we'll be moving on to. And before we get started, I also wanted to point out that technology is rapidly evolving all the time, and also every single organisation that we have spoken to so far this week have technology functions within their business, for even if it's just basic web technology, and also their employee users technology as well. So there's very different levels, and I think what's really nice today is we've got all of our employers are completely different from very different industries, and they all have their own business function technology as well. So we are going to start straight away with one of the questions that we've got on there. It's quite interesting. So Evelina, obviously you're an apprentice, so you started straight into this role, and I know you are going to go on to do your degree apprenticeship as well, which is really exciting. So you might be best placed to answer this first, is what can you do to maintain your technical qualifications as you progress, to keep up to date?
Yeah, well, that's a very good question. I think the most important thing, or the best thing you can do to improve and maintain qualifications, is keep on learning, because they're, exactly as you said, technology is always evolving. So either it's doing a course, or going to a workshop, or just speaking with people in the field who are experts in what they do. I think that's the best way how to maintain and learn even more.
And would you say that there's particularly useful forums that young people can join to find out more?
In forums, I'm not aware, but for example, when you start, just from my experience, when I started the apprenticeship, we had Slack forums where we would talk and discuss different questions, or exchange in some valuable information. That's one example, but I believe that there would be loads of those on Slack. Yeah.
Nick, what about at JLR?
So I guess to the point around developing and continuing to keep up qualifications, I think certainly in the fields that myself and Evelina are in terms of analytics there, but broader coding and technology, we're in a situation now where I think there's really good resources available online, and a lot of those are free. So if there's particular skills, or if you notice that there's a company that you want to go for and there's a particular technology they use, then I encourage people to look online and see if there's any training available out there, because there's a good chance that there may be some things that you can learn in your own time if you want to, especially if you're looking to apply for an apprenticeship.
Great. And I know you came in from a degree route, Nick, but what did you study at university?
So I studied maths with economics at Leicester.
Did you always know that you wanted to work within data science tech?
I have to admit I didn't. It's something I, in some ways, very fortunately stumbled across the scheme at Jaguar LandRover at a careers fair in my final year. I was, as I mentioned, part of the first scheme, so it was a very exciting new opportunity in a great company with an excellent reputation. So it was, it wasn't something I'd planned, but it was a fantastic fit when I found it, I guess. But I think, again, it depends what route people want to take. If you know what you want to do right now, then finding an apprenticeship that fits that is a great way. But perhaps if you know the general area but not the exact role, then I think university may be a good way to go to start with.
And Evelina, obviously you chose the apprenticeship that you wanted to do. Did you know a lot about data analytics before you came across the apprenticeship at GSK?
No, not at all. So data analytics, when I found it, was something that really excited me. But no, before I started my apprenticeship, I did not have any prior experience or knowledge. So I'm very thankful for GSK offering me this opportunity, because I learned so much, and now I have a vision and direction where I want to go for at least next 5 years, as data analytics and data science is something that really excites me.
And what gives you an advantage, really, because you came in and did the entry-level apprenticeship before going into your degree, you already have a prior knowledge and understanding of the basis of what your degree is going to be about, I guess, as well. So you're already earning and learning at the same time. And Nick, obviously, you got your basis in maths. Would you say maths is important to go into the role that you're doing at Jaguar LandRover?
Yes, yeah. For particular for analytics, I think maths is a core element. I think from what I've seen across a number of companies, if this is the pathway you wanted to go down, many would expect mathematics at GCSE and A level as a component and requirement for that. So certainly that's there. I think a general starting point, but maths can take you in a number of directions, but it's not the only one. I mean, there are people in my team who joined the graduate scheme who came from a science background, who did physics or chemistry degrees, or much wider than that. So it's not overly restrictive.
Okay, and obviously you both work within head offices as well, and I believe you have one head office within the UK. You might need to correct me on this, so apologies. In terms of if you're an apprentice, does your company support in relocating people so that they can join as an apprentice there, or are you looking for more local students?
Well, for GSK, so apprentices are accepted only within UK, as UK government is the one providing the apprenticeship. So I think it would be, I think it's a requirement to be located within UK.
But they could come from anywhere in the UK and just relocate, and they'd be based there.
Yes,
For Jaguar LandRover, I can't say off the top of my head if there is any relocation allowance or support, but we certainly have a mixture. We have some people who, like myself, I've chosen to sort of move somewhere very local, sort of very near, which I guess is convenient for the commute, but especially over the past few years as we've seen the move to increased working from home around the pandemic. I think there are more and more people locating themselves slightly further afield, with the acceptance that there'll be fewer days commuting in, albeit with a slightly longer travel time.
Like you knew where I was going with that question, Nick. So again, technology it's a brilliant sector to be in, because you can do it anywhere. You can be based anywhere and do the role. And obviously with COVID, lots of organisations are really embracing the working from home or working from where you're comfortable working. Would you say that your roles, you have the support and the ability to work fully from home, or do you need to go into an office and be office-based as well?
Well, in my team, we started going into office. So the first time I went to the office was last July. So I worked approximately 10 months working from home because of COVID. But no, I think it really depends on the team. In my team, our decision was to come to the office once a week so we can collaborate, chat, and be more or less informal, because if you're working from home, meetings are mostly work related, and it's also nice to just socialize and exchange with ideas regarding data or data science.
Yeah, and Nick?
So JLR's policy is very much hybrid working, and so the general encouragement is, I guess the recommendation is 2-3 days from home a week, 2-3 days in the office, but it really does vary from your role and even in my team, your project. So if you went and studied on maybe a logistics, supply chain, manufacturing or engineering role, there may be more time in the office. In our team, it really depends on, as I said, the project. Sometimes you may want to have more days at home to sort of focus in, whereas in other situations, having that collaborative space is really useful. And I'm certainly someone that, even with that choice, wants to go into the office at least a few days a week.
I agree. I think as well, especially when you're starting out and you're new, you want to know who your colleagues are, you want to work together and collaborate, and also meet your mentors face to face and learn from them as well. So in terms of the skill sets and the qualifications, obviously school and what students are studying as part of their GCSEs. We've had quite a few questions in terms of, are there specific qualifications that young people need to have when starting on one of your apprenticeships? And we'll go with you, Nick.
So as far as I'm aware, the minimum requirements for Jaguar LandRover degree apprentices, apprenticeship program, and they do vary depending on the program, but generally the minimum is 5 GCSEs at level 5 or higher, including English and Maths, and at A-level at least 2 A-levels at grade B or higher. Again, varying depending on the program. So for example, the data analytics program with my team, one of those A-levels would have to be in Maths, and we'd like to see others with a high mathematical content, I think is the words that you use. So, but again, could be something like economics, it could be computer science, it could be chemistry, physics, biology. There is depends on the program, I guess. But I guess the key thing is that it's great to have a view of the specific skill set on your job, but I think a lot of that will come through training for people, especially on apprenticeship programs. So don't feel like you need to, you're expected to have everything sort of all sorted that you'll be using day to day before you start.
One of those questions was actually coding. So a few people want to know if you need to know how to code to start the apprenticeship. And I know, Evelina, we were talking earlier, I did a tiny bit of coding at university, but is that a skill set you need to have before you can start on the apprenticeship?
No, absolutely not. So just to share my story, when I started the data analytics apprenticeship, I did not have any prior knowledge about coding. I didn't know what Python or pandas are. It's just some of the coding libraries. I thought just like animals, but now they're actually they're actually programming languages. So absolutely not. That's the purpose. That's the essential purpose of the apprenticeship, to give opportunity to young people learn and work at the same time. And as you will progress and time will go on, your technique or the way how you code will improve as well.
And I think, I personally hadn't had a lot of prior experience with the tools I'm using before I started, even on the graduate program. I'd say the one I was most experienced with beforehand is Excel, and that's not my core day-to-day tool. As I mentioned earlier, if it is something that you're very sure you want to go into from a coding perspective, then there are publicly available training online. Certainly open source tools like Python and R and SQL. There is training for that you can get at online, but I would expect if there are particular tools and techniques for that respective team that would be included in training, whether it be as a graduate or as an apprentice.
We've had a couple of questions in about working from home. the pay is the same whether you choose to work at home 3 days and in the office 2 days, or any ratio, but you get paid the same, you're doing the same job, you're just doing it in a different location. But in terms of the setup that you have, every company varies in terms of the tech package that you get, but just briefly explain what tech package you work with on a day-to-day basis.
Tech package, do you mean what was provided by the company?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had complete setup provided by GSK, so it included chair, laptop, keyboard, additional desktop, so everything was provided to have very comfortable setting that we can create in our own homes. And every time, obviously when we go to the office, everything is already there, but it was great to have that support provided just when we started.
And the colleague support that you get as well.
Yes.
From your mentors, do you have to go into the office to get that, or do you also have that virtually as well?
Yes, absolutely. So anytime I would have a question or just a query, I can either go to my mentors or my line manager. In my team, I'm the first cohort of data analytics apprentices, and now we have the second cohort. So anytime they have question, I can be their buddy to answer any questions they have at a time.
Great. And Nick?
Actually, I think that's a really important point for considering any scheme, whatever, even if it's maybe you're not particularly interested by the programs that we've talked about for our companies. Hopefully you are, but I think wherever it is, I think it's a really important point to ask around the support that's available, because early on, I think being in an opportunity where you've got that responsibility and to working on important things is brilliant, but that's a really good opportunity only if you've got the right support around you and that there is the right help. So, for example, in my team, I'm the career manager for a graduate and an apprentice who joined our team last September. But we've got technical leads on the projects, the project manager, and sort of fellow apprentices and graduates from previous cohorts that can act as buddies when people first arrive to make sure that they get well settled in. So I think that is a really important part of any of these schemes, is having that support in place to make sure people feel at home.
Great. And Nick, I know you mentioned that the degree apprenticeship is at Warwick, because that's very close to your headquarters. But Evelina, with GSK, did you join the apprenticeship programme via your college, or were you put in contact with a college that you work with?
Actually, it's neither. So it was me browsing and searching for the apprenticeships when I stumbled upon GSK offering data analytics. So it was really my own search, but it makes me very happy to hear that there are schools and colleges supporting students with their goals or what they want to do in the future.
Brilliant, thank you. This is a good one. What passions does your company look for in candidates? And I'll just elaborate on that a little bit as well. Passions, but also skill sets and aptitudes. Is there something that really lends itself well to doing data analytics?
So I'd say from my perspective, one is an eagerness to learn and to take on those new skills, especially if you don't have that prior knowledge, is that willingness to sort of learn and to embrace the challenge on the job. But also I think that eagerness and willingness to problem solve, to whatever it may be, whether it be from a technical perspective, from a scoping, a problem perspective, that sort of excitement and enjoyment that comes from facing a new, interesting, different challenge and tackling it full on, and wanting to get to the bottom of it is a really good thing, because if you've got that, then there's a good chance you'll pick up the technical skills and will be able to fit in really well.
That is brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. I just want to point out as well, there is a bit of confusion when we talk about technology. Technology is a huge industry, and GSK, for example, do pharma tech and lab technicians as well. That's completely different to the technology, which is more digital technology and analytics technology, that both Evelina and Nick do. And likewise with Jaguar LandRover, the in-car smart systems technology is very different to what you're doing. In your organisations, that's considered the engineering functions, isn't it?
I guess the way to describe it is we're a corporate analytics team, but yeah, there is opportunities if you're someone that's interested in working on cars, on the software side as well, then that probably would fit under our engineering functions. But that absolutely is there, whether it be through graduate schemes or apprentice schemes.
Thank you, thank you. And so for more information on GlaxoSmithKline and Jaguar LandRover, there are additional resources that you can download on the same web page that you're on now, where you're viewing this from. That will take you to their careers pages, but also their social media pages. Check them out on LinkedIn, follow them as organisations, because you'll also get to hear when their apprenticeship opportunities are opening and what different schemes they've got available as well. So we're at our halfway point now, and we're going to move straight into a live virtual session with MI5, MI6 and GSK. But first, before we do that, we're going to see a short video, but we're going to go first to Leanne from MI5, who will introduce that for you. Thank you so much, Leanne. That was fascinating. And again, completely different type of companies to work for as well. So I really hope that you've had a great showcase actually of very different organisations where you can start a technology career. And again, I just want to recap what came across in all of these questions and answers is the mentoring and support that you were given by all of the organisations. It is phenomenal. I know you don't need the technical backgrounds to be able to go into these tech roles, which I know is off-putting for a lot of people if they think, well, I'm not really computer techie enough for this role, is go into it with an open mind, see what's out there, research the organisations as well. We've mentioned previously this week that LinkedIn is a great resource for finding out about different industries and different organisations. And remember, all types of companies will have a technology team for their in-house company tech functions, I guess, their websites, even their social medias as well. So again, thank you so much for your questions. We had some great questions coming in. We really hope that you got your answers. As I mentioned before, there are downloadable resources packs on the website, and you will be able to watch the first part of this session on demand. Sadly, the live session from MI5, MI6 and GCHQ, we won't be able to deliver to you on demand, but there will be additional resources available for you to find out more about their organisations, and also the links to their careers websites will be on there as well. So thank you again to our sponsors, MI5, MI6 and GCHQ, and to Evelina and Nick from GSK and Jaguar LandRover. Thank you so much everybody for watching, and we'll see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow.